Mr. Crittenden, can you do the invocation for us?
Bow your heads, please. Father, I want to thank you for this beautiful day you've given us, the rain, the sunshine. Just go with us as we do this business here of a whole lot of Cherokee people. Just thank you for everything, Father. You've been good to us. Most of all, I want to thank you for Jesus. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Sean. All right, Shelley, can you do the roll call for us, please?
Yes, sir. Keith Austin. Joshua
Here.
Sam.
Here.
Danny Callison.
Here.
Julia Coates.
Here.
Sean Crittenden.
Here.
Joe Deere.
Honey.
Mike Dobbins.
Here.
Rex Jordan.
Here.
Johnny Kidwell.
Here.
Daryl Legg.
Here.
Wes Snowfire. Dora Petzkowski. Here. Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Melvina Shotpout. E.O. Smith.
Here.
Condessa Teehee. Victoria Vesquez. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you, Shelley. Has everyone had a chance to look over the minutes from the March 31? I got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes. All right, we'll go right into our reports. Do we have Chuck Garrett on with CMB?
Good afternoon. Hi there. Molly Jarvis here, sitting in for Chuck Garrett today. I'm happy to report that CMB's March revenue exceeded the previous year and was also ahead of target. And through the first 6 months of 2022, our profits exceeded both last year and target. And our full financial report for March is summarized in the Executive and Finance report that you've received. I also have a note about some of our business development activity. CMB is actively engaged with stakeholders in the region with both what we call Project Ocean and Canoe, which could result in several thousand new jobs in the reservation. And that's really concludes the report for today, unless there are any questions for me.
Do we have any questions for Molly? All right, looks like you're good to go. Thank you, Molly.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, we'll move on over to Treasurer Taylor.
Good afternoon, everybody. I see that my report made it into your books, and I'll be happy to take any questions from that. But I do have a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. We are currently making preparations for our fiscal year 23 budget. And historically, the council has gotten the two big budget books that we produce, the budget book that Jody kind of boils down for you, and then also a flash drive. And so I'm going to be coordinating with Shelley to see if everybody wants everything. We're happy to do that for you, but if you don't want everything, there's no sense providing that to everybody. So keep that in mind. I did put your PAFR on your desk. That is the Popular Annual Financial Report. And that is a report that we produce kind of for lay people, for people that aren't accountants. It does a lot of graphics and just kind of boils down the meat and potatoes of what we're doing as a nation with the money that we get. And so I hope you'll enjoy that. And then the last thing that I wanted to bring up was I think you all may have received a letter from someone regarding the language program not being paid in a timely manner. And in financial resources, we pride ourselves on turning those invoices around very quickly. And what has happened is they were paid early a couple of times. And so that made the payments seem like they weren't being paid on schedule. But what I will do is going forward, I will ask my staff not to pay them early, pay them on the due date. Like they have one for this week. It was due on Monday, but my staff had planned to pay it tomorrow, so they would have it for the weekend. But that is creating some confusion. So going forward, we'll just pay it on the regular due date, and then there won't be any question about it. So if anybody else has any questions, I'll be happy to take them.
Do we have any questions for Treasurer Taylor?
No question, but I just have a comment. I do like this report, and you know I'm not an accountant, so I enjoy the colors and the pictures and the graphs. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, Speaker.
Janice, I'd just like to say, and I'm sure Councilman Callison and Melvina will be the same, and me, is thank you for coming to our Salina deal. It was a good turnout.
Absolutely.
It really was, and we appreciate you being there.
That was a great event. I go to as many as I can. I went to one that Counselor Deere did as well, and if I can be there, I want to be there. So I'm glad to be invited, glad to be a part of it.
And glad your husband was there, too.
Yeah, I know. He can lift heavy things.
Yes, he can.
Everybody good?
Any more questions? Oh, Melvina?
Yeah, I want to say thank you too. Bet he cost me some money. He brought a generator for my son to use. Now we have got one.
Oh, Candace?
Treasurer Taylor, I just want to really thank you for your responsiveness on that issue with the invoice payments and the educational stipends. I think that it's amazing that you and your staff are able to turn around so many different invoices and so many different payments and in such a timely manner so that they're actually early. So I appreciate your responsiveness to that issue, and I hope that you communicate to your team that they are very much appreciated as well.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate the time, Chair.
I have a great team. And as always, if there aren't any more questions, you know where I am. You all have my phone number. Call me anytime.
All right, thank you, Treasurer. All right, we'll move on over to Diane Kelly with Career Services.
Good afternoon. You have my report. There's 2 pages that we forgot to put in the report. They're actually flyers about the Summer Youth Leadership Program that's headed up by George Roach, and our Career Exploration Program, which is new this year. And the flyers, I believe Gail may have given those out to you. My apologies that we didn't get them in there in time. And I know that we're going to be starting this project before the next committee meeting, so I wanted to make sure that you had them. George Roach has been doing a summer internship program for several years now, and we had an economic development meeting, strategy meeting this past year, and so we are looking at expanding it. So we're looking at the northern end and the southern end. So we'll have 10 interns here in Tahlequah, and we'll have 10 interns in Mays County for the northern area, so people won't have to drive as far. And then our Career Exploration Program, Ben Barnett is heading that up through our adult education area, and Ben and his staff are going to have that in Mays County, Cherokee County, and in Sequoia County. So we'll have 30 students in that program. That's 14 and 15-year-olds, and then the 18-year-olds and above, the ones that are graduating and going to college, will be in the leadership program. So I just wanted to let you know that we are expanding both of those this year, and they're working on that right now. You have my report, and it kind of goes over some of the things that we've been working on. Molly mentioned Canoe and Project Ocean. Our office has been working with the Mid-America Industrial Park and those 2 projects extensively. Been up there for several meetings, and we're trying to get our office expanded so that we have more people to pull from. So when we start doing recruitment and referrals, we'll have more people to look at. We're also working with C&B, Molly Jarvis, on the PPE program and our meat processing. Our call center, talked to Gina, and they are doing calls for the registration office. You know, we have the portal out there. They've got 20 operators now, and Derek has got a couple of staff out there, one in particular that answers any of the technical questions. So if you have any constituents who are saying that they have been calling in about their registration, it's being answered out of the portal with our call center. And they're doing a really good job. They are answering phone calls like you wouldn't believe. The numbers are atrocious. And Gina goes around and works with her staff, and we've had good reports. People are appreciative of someone answering, and we've got that many people answering the phone. So we hope that it has helped our registration office to get a lot more done with them answering the calls. And at some point in time, I'll give you a real rundown report on some of the things that they're doing out there. If you're not familiar with the Woodmark building, that's where they're located. We just recently, through the IT department, moved the switchboard operators. They're out there with them as well. So we have a full house out there, and Gina seems elated by the work that's being put out there. So we don't have attendance issues as much as we had, so that they like the building, they like the location, and we feel like that it's been very beneficial for the whole Cherokee Nation. We are going to be embarking on some career recruitment fairs. Shannon Rogers and Shannon Swepston are working with our Economic Development Group, and they're going to be putting on some job referral fairs in about 5 different locations, and I'll be sending that out to you through Gale. We don't have it ready, we don't have everything ready to go, but this will let you know when we're doing these recruitment fairs in your particular area. In addition to that, Chief has asked us to work with the housing construction as well as any of the other construction that we're doing here in identifying contractors, subcontractors, specialized people in their fields of plumbing, electrical, drywall, paving, curbing, whatever. We are going to be doing about maybe 8 of these construction fairs. We hope to roll everything out the first part of June. We started working on it. Chief sent us the information on Tuesday. We started working on this the day after. And we're already getting some things lined out, and we're getting calls from some of the contractors right now. So we hope to have a laundry list of people that we can pull from for all these projects that we're doing, whether it be housing or construction. We're also still working on child care and nursing. Those are our 2 primary areas that we're trying to get more people involved in and get people trained. We've also got a lot of things going on with our offices. We have been working with John Asbill and the architects for the Catoosa area, Jennifer Kirby and I have, so that we can go into the office immediately when the tag office moves out. We're also looking at our expansion there in Pryor. We think we've got everything finalized for that to start moving. We're looking at some space that will be available probably maybe this summer, adjacent to the food distribution site in Veneta, so that we will have a location there for Jennifer and myself. And then, you know, that the Stillwell office is set up more for a one-stop. So Jennifer's programs and my programs are going to kind of work closely together for developing a one-stop type center, so that when people come in, they can walk across the hall and get services. Kevin Ogle is working with us. He and David Moore and John Asbill, and C&B is helping us with the project in Pryor, as well as our fairgrounds, which is located up here on the hill. Do you all have any questions?
Do we have any questions for Ms. Kelly? Nope.
Hey, Diane, the meat processing plant, if people are interested in, that have experience in working there or just want to work there, I mean, is there going to be a announcement looking for people, or do they need to get a hold of somebody, or what?
That will be under C&B, Molly Jarvis. She is heading that up, and we're just working with her on any of the referrals that came over from the nation or any additional people that she may need throughout the process.
Did they tell you about when? Are they looking at
They're
a certain
still
date?
doing some training, and they're still getting some of their, I guess, certifications they have to
Right.
get through the state.
Right.
But I would ask you to get a hold of Molly, and she could probably give you an explanation on all that.
Okay.
I haven't been that involved in it.
Okay,
I'm just
all right.
working on the referrals.
Thank you, Diane.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, looks like we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we got next, Anna Knight with Commerce Department.
Good afternoon. I think you have a copy of my report this month. I'm pretty sure you do. And so I'm happy to answer any questions. I will just update the income tax preparation. This year, we helped 2,143 people and filed between 1,700 and 1,800 returns, and those would be IRS returns. A lot of people come in and just for an Oklahoma tax credit, and we help them with those applications too. But happy to answer any questions you might have.
Do we have any questions for Anna? All right, looks like you got off easy.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on over to consent items. Has everyone had a chance to review the consent items? Are there any questions or comments on them? Did you have an announcement, Jody? All right, all right.
Move for approval.
All right, motion for approval and a second. All in favor? All right, any opposed? Oh, Candessa?
When does that change in the sports team funding policy take effect?
It went into effect after last meeting, so
Have you seen an increase in applications to that program in response?
there's been of course, this time of year, there's a lot of them, so I know she's been busy with them. She has processed, I know one, maybe two of the lower level ones already, so I think it'll take a little time for, the word to get out and around on all that. But I did go ahead and increase both of the budgets that's in the operating budget mod this month, added money for both of them, so, for the livestock and the sports team, so.
All right, well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time, Chair.
All right, any other questions for Jody? Sean?
Jody, you'll probably be dealing with this from the treasurer, but, that flash drive in your book is kind of what my 2 cents would be. Just we can plug it, flash drive in, look it
Yeah,
over, any
they're-
problem, we print the problem thing out if we have one, and.
Yeah.
So, that'd be my 2 cents, flash drive in your book.
If there's, I think that's what we'll plan on. If there's anybody that actually wants one of the hard copies, let me know and we'll communicate that. But I think, like you say, between the flash drive and the, my book, I know one thing they've done the last couple of years that's been really helpful even for me is on that flash drive, there's a PDF file that's searchable. So you don't have to know the accounting unit number to find something. If you just want to look for Marshall, you can just go down the list, until you find where you're wanting something, or if you want any specific word or anything, you can search that file, and it's a lot easier than just having all the Excel files.
All right, any more questions?
Josh,
Oh,
Jody, would you have a copy of the hardcover big books in your office, just in case?
Yes, I would plan on having one copy just in case, so anybody wants to actually look at it, so. I used to use it, personally, I used to use it a lot, but the last couple of years especially since they did that searchable file, it's a lot easier to just look on the drive, so.
all right. Any more questions before moving on? All right, looks like we're good. All right, we'll move on to old business, none pending. New business, Councilor Deere, can you take that first one?
This is an act amending Legislative Act Number 43-21, authorizing the comprehensive capital budget for fiscal year 2022-Mod 3 and declaring an emergency. I want to put that in the form of a motion.
All right, got a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. Councilor Legg, can you take that second one?
This is an act amending Legislative Act 44-21, authorizing comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2022, Mod 7, and declaring an emergency, and I'll put that in form of a motion.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right. Announcements, next meeting is tentatively scheduled for Thursday, May 26th at 3 PM. Anybody else have any announcements? Sean?
Just like us to remember Ryan Tiger's family, young man, passed away.
All right. I'll take a motion for adjournment. Got a motion and a second? Do I have a second? All right, motion and a second. All in favor? All right, meeting's adjourned.